Hey everybody, welcome to an all-new episode of the Journey Podcast. My name is Brandon Hargrove-Sita, joined as always by my co-host, my beautiful wife sitting next to me, Bree Hargrove-Sita.
I'm here.
And not joining us is the third member of the team, and that is Tanya Hayes. We'll get into why she's not joining us in just a minute. But hey, we're back. We're back.
We're back.
It's an all-new year. It's an all-new Journey Podcast, all-new us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, same old us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been away for a really long time. 4 or 5 months we haven't recorded anything.
Yeah.
And to all 8 of our listeners, we're sorry.
8. Wow.
Probably 6.
I'm sure there's more people that heard us.
The numbers are probably squeezed a little bit because me and Tanya do a lot of playback listening.
Yeah.
So, but to all those who listened regularly, I know there are some of you out there who do. We're sorry. They're probably thinking like, I guess these guys stop doing it, which happens to a lot of podcasts, but not this one. Not this one. We're back. And another cool thing about being back in a whole new year, new podcast, same old us, is we have video now.
Yeah.
Now you get to see these beautiful faces behind the voices.
Yeah.
And the video is on YouTube, youtube.com/CCU Journey Podcast. And there'll be a link in the description. And this is obviously our first video. Welcome to our apartment.
Welcome.
Our beautiful, humble abode.
Yes.
And, this will be the video. This will be what it looks like, I guess, for a while. Our dream, well, at least my dream, my mission was to do like a big multicam view and do up one of the extra rooms in our place here as like a big studio and lighting and all this stuff. We got a paint job on it. But I decided like something that just is us, something that's just relaxed. And like if we were having a conversation, I mean, Tanya would be here anyway. This is kind of like how we would do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just sitting down. This is
talking.
how our living room is set up anyway.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? If we were hanging out talking, like this is how we would be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So check out the video. Let us know what you think in the comments. youtube.com/CCUMB. No, sorry, it's the church. CCU Journey Podcast.
Yes, come on.
YouTube. Sorry. So yeah, we're really excited about it, and hopefully it takes off. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly, whatever. We're open to it. It only helps us make this thing better. Yeah, for sure. Does everybody like my candle? Bree didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it. I thought it was a fire hazard because we both talk with our hands. I'm trying to be reserved right
now.
now.
Not that much.
Well, this whole time you've been talking.
I was about to.
Yes. I was watching you like going back and forth.
Yeah. Let me know what you think of the candle. Please tell me you like it. Please tell me you like it.
It's our Paula Hargrove Foundation candle, and it smells amazing.
We'll talk about that too. We can talk about that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to forget to bring up our other co-host Tanya, the third member of the crew here, who started this podcast with us. Obviously, she loves the podcast. She loves doing the podcast. But she's not going to be with us for a while because she had some health issues. And she is recovering at home. She was in the hospital for a little bit. But we've talked to her a couple times, and
she's doing great.
Her message, she's doing good in recovery and everything. And her message has been, which is true, that she's just trusting in the Lord.
There you go.
She's just trusting in the Lord, putting her faith in the Lord.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's pray, which we will be doing. We hope that all of you can do as well. And so hopefully she'll be able to join us again, because her vision for this podcast from the beginning was to do video.
Yeah.
And I told her,
yeah, that's not in the beginning. It was like, it's not happening.
Who wants to look at us? I don't want to look at us.
Right.
Well, me.
Yeah.
I like to look at you. Eventually it just it kept coming up, and so eventually I was just like, yeah, you're right. Let's do the video podcast. We've been talking about it before doing it, and it just kept getting delayed. And Tanya had technical issues with her computer and all that stuff. Now
just too much.
This happened, so I said, hey, what better time really to start doing the videos than a new year. So
well, I'm not a stranger to being in front of the camera, since we were doing back in the day the pre-praise report. But I think the difference now is that I don't have hair and makeup and wardrobe and all that
Hmm.
jazz. We're sitting in my house.
Well, yeah.
Um,
Like I said, it's the point of it is supposed to be, kind of just relaxed a little bit, not so formal.
yeah.
Not so formal. And I don't think it doesn't need to be. You know what I mean? This podcast is us. You know what I mean? So,
Mm,
let's make it us. Let's not try and fake it for anybody or
mm,
whatever. You know what I mean?
mm.
We've done it. We've done it for us, by us from the beginning. So, as we take this new venture into the video, we'll continue that same thing. So,
Sounds good.
we'll see what happens. We'll see where it goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a shame because this is not the first episode. This is not the first kind of sit down try that we've had with the video.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to do video before, but wound up not working. Some technical difficulties.
More technical difficulties.
Which I'm sure there'll be some along the way, but we just lost over half of the audio, so we couldn't do anything with the post, which is a shame because I feel like the conversation that we had
was really good.
was nice.
But I mean, even though we recorded and we were able to post it, I think that I had mentioned after we made the video that it was giving us the opportunity for me and him to talk too, because with the day-to-day basis we have with life and work and kids, it's like we call each other in between. It's like, hey, how are you? Good. All right, I'll see you later, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, even if we weren't able to post it or whatever.
Yeah, you know what, and I feel like this comes up a lot with us. Well, I mean, we've never done an episode by ourselves before, but even with having Tanya on, I feel like it always comes up a lot with the different struggles, I guess you could say, with being married. Because we're relatively still new. We're not newlyweds, but we haven't been married for like 15, 20 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
I feel like at that point you pretty much have it dissolved. You've cracked the case. If you could stay married to the same person for 15 years, you figured out something.
Right.
You know what I mean, on how to do it.
Yeah.
So we're still figuring that out. So it comes up often on the podcast about communication and all all those stressor points.
Yeah.
With being married and raising kids and being young and doing all of this stuff. So yeah, that was part of some of the conversation we were having on the episode that got lost, which I wish we still had because it was nice. But I guess we can go back to some of it. Some of the reason why we haven't posted an episode in so long is because Bree and I renewed our vows for our
5-year wedding anniversary.
Yes, our 5-year wedding anniversary.
Was that a trick question?
No, not a trick.
You almost tried to trip me up there.
I was just give and take. That's all.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, so we did our vow renewal after being married for 5 years, and I think it's something special, obviously.
5 years is
but
the hardest part of marriage, I think.
I think getting through the first year.
No.
I think getting through the first year is the hardest.
Our first year wasn't. Well, our first year was challenging because I was pregnant with our second child.
Right.
That quick.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I think most people. What's the divorce rate after?
Most people get divorced within the first 5 years of marriage.
Is it the first 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the first 5 years of marriage is when people start showing. Because for most people, I'm just gonna majority of people in the dating scene, you date somebody for a year, 2 years.
It says
you get married.
Most divorces happen between year 3 and year 7.
See?
Just 4% of couples divorce after 10 years of marriage. So that's what I'm saying. You make it to year 15, I think you got it figured out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess yeah. Year 3, it says year 3 to 7. So yeah, year 3, you make it past 3.
3, we was looking at each other like, ugh.
We were?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You don't remember that?
What?
It was just hard. I mean, you were working all the time. Not to complain about you working, because you have a work ethic that every wife would want a man, their husband to have. But you were working. I was just a new mom. I didn't know who I was. Um, my
Okay.
life was surrounded with kids, and it was just I resented you for being able to go out and go to work, and not having to be the default parent at the time because they were so little. I was still nursing. So yeah, for me, year 3 was hard.
But what's that mean, default parent?
I would say a default parent is like, okay, say the kid is sick. What parent is going to take off of work? Would it be you or me?
It would depend on the situation.
Out of all the times that our kids gotten sick, who takes off of work when they get sick? Is it usually you and me?
I would say whoever's not the breadwinner, which would be you.
Would be me. So I'm the technical default parent.
But I don't understand how that makes you a default.
Or who's the one who makes all the doctor's appointment for the kids?
I guess you, but what's that got to do with anything?
That's the I mean, I would say that's the definition of a default parent. I handle like all of the logistics of the kids, like the behind the scenes of everything. Like, not saying that you're not an active parent, but you're more the breadwinner, where you go out and make the money and you come back and you're there. You're interacting
Sure, all
with the
the
kids.
things do happen, but I don't know if I agree with the default wording.
Why?
Because everybody has their own responsibilities. Just because you handle certain things, I don't think that makes you the default parent because you take off work when the kids are sick or you call out. You make the decision. You know what I mean? You wouldn't ask you don't ask me to take off
but
because I make more money. Now, if you made more money,
right, I still would take off because the kids are sick. It doesn't matter.
right, but then you can't. There has to be like a balance to me.
Why didn't you like the word default? Does that make you feel like you're not like an active parent? Is that what it's sounding
No,
like
no,
to
no.
you?
It's not necessarily that. It's just that everybody, each person has their own responsibilities.
Right.
Everybody has their own lane that they're going to be in.
Right.
Sometimes we do both. Sometimes we leave it up to one person to handle one thing, another
Right.
person to handle another thing, and that's just the way it is. Sometimes we both handle the same thing at different times.
But I would assume,
but it's like
I would make the I would say that in most cases the mom is the default parent because she's just has that role of the caretaker.
but that's not always the case.
Okay.
That's not always going to be the case. Just because I don't understand the wording is getting that. Just because you are home with the kids more, what is that? I just don't understand what that default.
Like I feel when it comes to the kids, everything will fall back on you, not financially, but everything will fall on that parent. That what that child needs, that they know that parent will do. Like, I'm trying to come up with an example, like the ones I just gave you. Okay, parent teacher conferences. The person who is always in contact with the teachers, or who's signing the kids up for school, or who's making sure that their insurance is good for doctor's appointments, who are talking to doctors. I'm not saying that the other parent is not involved, but the other parent's more focused on providing financially for the household, other than dealing with all, like I said, all the logistics of what the house needs. Like basically the secretary. I'm doing like all that work to make sure everything flows for the family.
Okay.
So that's why I would.
But that's just because you have the time to do it.
Even when I didn't have the time to do it and I was working, I still was doing all those things. So I wouldn't say that either.
The kids weren't in school though.
They were in daycare.
Okay.
Okay.
But that doesn't make you a default parent because you sign the kids up for school and take them to their doctor's appointments. Am I tripping?
I would say I'm doing more of the legwork for the kids.
You're doing more of the legwork.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Play dates, doctor's appointments. I mean, I'm not going to say plays because you go to the kids' concerts and stuff. I'm not saying that you don't do things. I'm just saying these are all the things I have to think about. Like, yeah, play dates, parks.
But you take that upon
Schools.
yourself to do that,
Yeah,
to
but
do those things.
The kids need those things.
Right. I'm saying, though, it's as easy as asking me to do that on the weekend or whatever if you didn't have the time to do it.
But why would I leave that on you to do it just on the weekend?
I'm not saying everything. I'm
now,
not saying everything. I'm not saying just some of those things. You're saying that you're the default parent because you take care of everything but making the money, making more of the money, whatever the scenario is. And I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense to me. You can take care of all the stuff. I don't understand. Just the terminology is getting me. That term.
What if we can look up what a default parent is on?
I don't think
line.
anything's gonna show up.
Okay, I've heard the term multiple times from other moms and even dads who feel like they take the grunt of the kids' activities and everything.
This is from what's this from? All right, so one of these things says the default parent is the parent who takes the assumed role of primary caregiver in the home. A default parent manages a heavy mental load and often invisible labor required to run a household and family. But this is what I don't understand about this is the parent who takes the assumed role of primary caregiver. I don't understand why there has to be an assumed role or even a role of primary caregiver. Why can't that role be split between both parents?
That's not because it's not a reality.
But why not?
It can be a reality, but that's not our reality. I wouldn't say. I think that a lot of the things that I have taken on so that you don't have to worry about it has put me in a position as a default parent. Like, I don't want you to have to worry about where the kids are going to school or doing the research of the teachers or where they're going or just any of the logistics of taking care of the kids.
But I am actually interested in that stuff, though.
That's now.
So I wouldn't have a What do you mean that's now?
Well, the reason why that conversation started is because I was saying 3 years ago, year 3, when we were in our marriage, that wasn't where you were at. I would say you now, like where you are now as a dad.
I feel like none of those things were ever brought up, though. I think that's why I'm having a hard time like grasping this. It's because it's like it's not like you said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I go, "No, that's your job." And I've never said something like that before.
No, of course not.
So you.
I said no.
Okay. So you would assume those roles by yourself.
Yes.
Without asking, hey, do you want to split these responsibilities?
Because it was not our reality back then, Bernie. You were working 3-4 jobs when Jalen and Brandon were little. Do you remember that? You were working as a volunteer EMT.
I remember what I was doing. You don't got to tell me.
Okay, you were working 3 or 4 jobs. There was no way, absolutely no way, you were going to be able to help me with the kids.
But you can't make that assumption. Just like you can't make that assumption now. I'd be more than happy and willing to help.
You were so exhausted. It was not making an assumption. It was like when we saw you, you were like either super exhausted or overwhelmed
That's not all
with
the time,
bill.
You're making it seem like it was all the time.
It was all the time. 3 years ago, we had a 1-year-old who had just turned 1. Jalen was 18 months when I had Junie? Yeah, 14 months apart. So do the math on that. He was just learning how to walk when I had Junie. I can't get the children's name right. When I had Junior, yes.
What?
Okay. Jalen.
I understand
Our
all that. I
oldest.
understand all that. I get it. Okay.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, and I'm not even talking about then.
Okay.
I'm talking about right now.
Right now, I'm saying that that's not the case. The reason why the word default parent came up is because you were saying, we were talking about the divorce rate and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, year 3 was hard for me. And you said, what? I didn't know that.
You said us, but okay.
Well, for
Let's
us,
run back the
but
tapes.
you said, oh, I didn't know that. Wow, that's something new.
Uh-huh.
And I explained to you all the things that I was dealing with being the default parent in year 3 of our marriage because both of our babies were so young.
But that's
and
unfair.
You were working.
That's unfair to me because I know nothing about no default parent. This or that.
I didn't know the name. I didn't know the name of default parent back then either. I just recently learned the definition of that and realized, okay, that was what was going on.
I'm saying I don't like that dynamic.
But that's
now that you're presenting what I'm saying. But now that you're presenting it to me, what I'm saying is I don't like that dynamic.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're getting to here.
Yeah.
As a side note for all the listeners or watchers, me and Bree have known each other for a really, really long time. So
how long?
When we have a conversation, probably seems like we're bickering or arguing. I swear we're not. This is like, it's just how we talk.
It's normal.
This is like normal communication. I swear it's not toxic.
Yeah, no, we're good.
It may seem like we're bickering, but we're not. So please hang in there.
Yes.
and please listen through because we're not fighting.
No.
I could imagine people might be like,
I'm sure everyone who's watching our podcast who's been married for years knows that this is normal communication between people who are married.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not every episode is going to be about marriage and communication, but we were on the subject because of our vow renewal. That was the latest thing that kind of happened in the Journey podcast world.
Yeah.
So that's why we're bringing up this topic.
Yeah.
Just to lay that out there for anyone because we may be reaching new audiences now being on YouTube.
Right.
Hopefully, prayerfully. So just know that.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's all I was getting at with that default parent thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a thing. It's not a thing for us now, but it was year 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I guess,
that was the whole basis of the conversation. We just went in a whole circle, but yeah.
Yeah. So the vow renewal was like I said, it was special. But for more than just one reason, not just the fact that, we're celebrating 5 years of marriage, which is great in itself. But it's a thing that I think that not a lot of people, which we, Googled, apparently not a lot of people get that opportunity because they, number one, don't even make it that far in their marriage, or number two, maybe they just don't want to do a vow renewal or whatever. But I think that it's a great opportunity to reconnect. It's a great opportunity to reestablish, the love that you have for your partner, and to remind yourself of why you said yes on whatever day you said yes. I think that's a really, and I didn't. I guess it's like self-explanatory when you talk about a vow renewal, but it really puts it in perspective when you're the one that's doing it. You go, oh, yes, this is what I love about you. This is the reason why I want to be with you. This is right. You know what I mean? It kind of just reminds you of why you made all of those decisions that you originally did.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's really special in that aspect too. So it was fun. It was nice to do it.
Fun.
It was
fun. Is the good word for that.
Well, the obviously the planning and all that wasn't fun, but
the planning
I'm talking
was
about the
day.
The day. You know what I mean? It was a good time. It was worth it. So
yeah, my day was beautiful.
Yeah.
My day was beautiful.
Yeah, so I don't know if I said this before on the last thing, but it doesn't matter because we didn't get it recorded. But I'd like to say something about old Raggedy Men's Warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
If you all are looking to rent tuxedos or suits or
Don't
something,
go there.
just buy them. Honestly, just buy it.
Or
You're better off.
go somewhere else.
You're better off buying it, because then you have it for the future. You can wear it later down the line instead of just renting it for basically the cost of purchasing it nowadays. Anyway,
that is true. That is true. Well, probably half of the price. Cause you spent like $160 on it.
No, the suits were over $200.
What?
So
you could have went and bought you a suit.
That's what I just
tailored made.
I just said to the people. Yeah, I know, but whatever. It was too late at the point to do anything about it. It was bad. It was bad. They messed up measurements on everybody in the party. They forgot stuff. On the day of, somebody had to get resized because he waited to the last minute, which is fine. I think he waited to the last minute.
That's not fine, but
they forgot his stuff in the dressing room. Oh, we'll pack it up. Go ahead and get changed. They left the tie and the vest or something like that in the dressing room. He gets 30 minutes away, less than an hour before the ceremony starts, and he goes to get dressed and his stuff isn't there, and it's sitting at the store. So, attention to detail, Men's Warehouse, please.
Mercy.
Whatever. But yeah. That like I said, that's the latest going on.
Tried to ruin my day
with us.
But I mean, my day wouldn't have been ruined at the end of the. It still would have been you and me. But yeah, it wouldn't have been that bad. I would have been mad, but.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything else we had going on other than just time getting away from us on why we haven't recorded in so long. I'm just trying to get everybody caught up.
I was in school.
Yeah.
I went back to become a dental hygienist. Like I had to start my prereqs. I can't say that full word. My prereqs. And I would love to say my first semester went amazing. It was very challenging, but
school's hard.
It was hard. I cried many times, guys.
Yeah, well, hey, you got through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think looking to the future, well, we don't have to give too much away, but there's some things coming in the future
that we're praying about.
We'll, you'll find out eventually. I don't want to spill the beans too much.
No.
Yeah, keep watching to find out what happens in the life of Brandon and Bree.
There you go. We're praying on it, and we're asking God for direction. And, yeah, I'm just excited to see what he does for our family the next couple years.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to ask what you think about this, and maybe you don't have an opinion. This is why I wish Tanya was here. But, and I know what the Bible says about tithing.
Mm-hmm.
But do you honestly think that your finances, your day-to-day or whatever, your finances have a direct link to your tithing?
I think so. Especially seeing.
But in your experience.
Yeah, I was about to say, in our experience, every time that we've been like really like.
Okay.
What?
No, good.
Well, I mean, we are. What you make is what I make right now. So, but the times that I've tithed, when I was working, I've never went without, regardless. You know what I mean? Because it was like, okay, if I was running low and Brandon was there, but especially now that it's one income, every time that we've been like really short on money, I've noticed I'll see him like tithe at the church or, do something we can. And mysteriously, the Lord does something and we get loads of money, a huge blessing. We're just like, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say so.
The reason why I'm bringing it up, and I'm not scared to say it on the podcast, on YouTube, is I don't tithe like I'm supposed to.
You don't.
Right? Calm down.
Go ahead.
I'm admitting to it. Let me tell the story.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I don't. And it's something that I'm working on. Half the time it really is just remembering to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to church every Sunday
like we used to.
and there's a reason for that. It's not like we're just being lazy, but we're like this in between period of like finding a church home. And part of what I was talking about earlier, what could be in the workings for us, could solve that problem.
Yeah.
Once we get to where
we're going.
That problem could be solved. I feel
Yeah.
like we're in a weird in between phase right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which we could talk about too. We come from a Baptist church, traditional. I guess you could call it.
We talked about this before.
A traditional Baptist church. Oh yeah, we sure did. A traditional Baptist church, and I guess that's the right terminology for it. And moving to central Pennsylvania away from home, obviously, I mean, 2.5 hours is a little bit of a hike to
try to make it back home on for Sunday to go to
to try and
our
make
home
it
church.
to try and make it a church, honestly. And I know some people do it. I've definitely known people that have done it for our church too.
Like musicians.
They drive a long way, but to wrangle up 3 kids every Sunday, 2.5 hours. The toll is really expensive. That's another thing. It's like $20 one way. Just little things add up, and it just kind of wasn't worth it, really, to go back. But that's the great thing about churches is there isn't just one. So, we were looking around. We found a couple of churches online. We found one that Bree likes. We found one that I like. We haven't tried the one that Bree likes because the services are only early, and we ain't about getting them early. If there's a later option, I'm gonna take that. That's kind of
really
like where
bad.
we've been. Yeah,
really bad.
It's not good.
But
so we found a church that is different, worship style, different. I don't want to say. I'm not sure what kind of church it is.
I would think they're Baptist or non-denominational. One of the two.
Yeah, I'd say probably non-denominational.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's our first. We like I said, we grew up in a Pentecostal Baptist church, respectively. So it's different for us being in a church like that with a completely different worship style. We like it, but then there also are things about it, of course, that we don't like.
Yeah.
One of the parts that we do like, which is important for us, is the kids. The kids like it. It just so happens that the church is where the kids go to school. They go to a private Christian school. It was the first year that the church started the school. So we sent the kids, paid a lot of money, to send the kids to the private Christian school, which is great. They love that. So it's like they are comfortable. They're settled here. We may not be settling down here. So it's like, do we keep the search going to try and find
another
something that we do like, but only to just leave? Is it worth it to try and find something else in the meantime if it's just a temporary thing? Or do we just go where it's like, okay, this is okay, we're not totally on board with it, but this is okay, we can live with coming
be okay
here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
This is gonna give my feel for the week.
What is worth it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's kind of like I think where we are right now.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I was bringing up the tithing, is because I don't give to that church, obviously.
No, we do give to the church because we pay tuition. So,
right.
Technically
it's different.
But
I'm saying I don't pay my tithes to that church.
Yeah.
I'm not a member there. We're not members.
We're not
there.
members. Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, so what I was saying is half the part is remembering to do it, because they do things so differently there. It's just, I don't know, it just never really was on my mind that heavily about tithing. You know what I mean? I feel like I want to say I do notice, which is what the Bible tells us. You give, you reap what you sow, and all those times that I do tithe, I'd like to say that I notice a difference. Maybe I get some extra overtime. Works out, I get a little extra money, or like you said, something unexpected comes in the mailbox, and whatever. I don't know. I just wanted to see what you thought about it because I've never asked you. And this weird church thing that we're in right now about trying to find
It's very weird. It's very, very
church
weird.
home. What do we do? I mean, we're still members of our church. That hasn't changed.
Yes.
Who knows if it will change?
Well, I mean, with the changes that are coming, we're going to have to end up finding a new church home. So that's inevitable.
I'm just saying. You don't know that because you said the same thing when we came out here. When we were looking, we're going to have to find a new church home, but we still haven't done that. So I'm saying
that's because we have plans ahead of us where we're in this, like you said, we're in this weird transitional position where it doesn't make sense for us to join a church here.
Sure, but I'm just saying, even before that, even before the plan was to move, when we were looking, it's like, okay, we're looking for a place that could be a church home. That's why we're looking. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's been over a year at this point, and we still haven't found that, it's like, I don't know. What is it? Are we just being set up for what is to come, or, are we meant to forever be members of CCU?
Who knows? Let's pray about it.
Right. So, yeah, I guess we'll find out. So what's going on with you?
Nothing much. I don't have anything else to talk about. I think we touched everything. I guess since we're on a new year.
Don't talk about resolutions.
It's not really a resolution.
Okay.
So I've found that I know a while ago I was talking to you guys, the viewers, about this group that I started for women. And I have this group on Facebook where I talk to women, mothers, women who are not mothers, just anybody, if you're a woman. And you can go on this group chat and you talk about, whatever you want to talk about, your problems, your praise reports, your whatever. Well, I went on there and I had a virtual vision board party to get everyone ready for the new year. And I don't want to say it's a New Year resolution anymore. I made a vision prayer board. So for those who don't know what a vision board is, it's basically like your New Year resolution, but you put it on a piece of paper, or you go on a Canva website and you create it. And these are the things that you want to accomplish in the new year, your resolutions. But instead, I'm saying to make a vision prayer board, because if this is the things that you want to accomplish in the new year, you put them all down, you think about it, and you pray over these things. And I feel like if you pray over them, the Lord will open and close those doors for you to achieve whatever goals that you have for the new year. So, I encourage everyone to do that instead of making a resolution and just leaving it out there and just never achieving it. Tell the Lord, or ask the Lord to help you achieve these things for the new year. Yeah.
Okay.
And putting your prayer requests or your prayer journal or your devotionals or whatever.
Yeah, manifestation is real.
It definitely is.
It's real. I can't say that it's worked for me every time, but
no. But piggybacking off of what we talked about, the whole church thing. I feel like going from being Baptist and then going to this new church, I think that something that has transitioned and kind of helped me in my Christian walk was I've gotten a stronger prayer life, and it's kind of pushed me to want to have my individual and intimate time with God and have devotionals and all those things. So I think that's something that's great about this new church that we are attending to, that I picked up from both churches, but especially from this one that we're at now.
What's that again?
What?
What?
That it's pushed me to want to pray more.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
I was listening.
No, you were not listening, obviously.
I was listening. Yeah, no, that's really important. It's really important. I feel like I feel like that's not to say that that's not something that's important at TCU, because it certainly is, but it's just a different kind of vibe.
It's just a different kind of vibe, like the Baptist church. Yeah,
that contemporary worship.
It's different.
Puts you in a mood.
It does.
Puts you in a mood.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like a hymnal. I'm not saying I don't like a hymn, because I do. I grew up on hymns. I love hymns, but it's something about Chris Tomlin knows how to write a song. I tell you that.
Sure does. Sure does.
And that's where I am with that.
Yeah.
So, what else is going on?
Nothing. Nothing.
This is all we got to do on our friend. We didn't really prepare first episode. We just figured we just wing it. Oh, that's all right. It's fine. Either people are gonna like it or they're not. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Either you watch it because you like it. You watch it because you don't like it. As long as you watch it, hey, watch it, share it. You know, whatever. It's fine. You know, I'm more worried about my bald spots.
You can't even see them.
Than anything. Oh, you can. Don't lie.
I cannot see it on the camera.
Okay.
You look fine.
Yeah, you know. Listen, we're getting it together. It's okay.
We're getting.
You want to talk about TD Jakes?
No, let's move on. Thanks. Move on immediately.
Well, this is not supposed to be a gossiping podcast. I feel like we've done that a lot in the past.
That's you and Tanya. I'm usually the one that's sitting here shaking my head, but you can't see that because it's the first video podcast. But it is usually
you join in on it too.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
That's no. Tanya would have went off the rails as soon as you brought up TD Jakes. She would have went off of the rails, and I would have been sitting here like every time.
You know what? That's probably some of the filler. We were missing the Tanya rants.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I think that's what it is. We're not used to having a talk.
We're not used to having to talk the whole time. Usually it's just like,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's crazy, Tanya.
Yeah,
wow. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
She's gonna beat us up when she watches this.
And then we both chime in and get a 5-minute window, and then she goes on again.
And we're at least missing 15 minutes of Tanya rant.
We are.
At least 15 minutes.
At least.
What are we at? 45.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the problem.
There you go.
Tanya, we need you back. We need your filler talk.
Yeah, because you lead the conversation most of the time.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's the adjustment. We got to get used to having to talk.
I don't really
for
like
an hour.
That much. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
All right.
Joking. Of course. I love you.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're not used to having to talk for so long. I usually get a break.
No, that's the part I was talking about. All right. My mouth is dry. I need some water. But that's what I had said in the beginning of the podcast. I'm like, we don't talk this much. I mean, I wouldn't say we don't talk at all, but like to have like a conversation like this very rare.
Without having to sound like this is starting an argument.
Oh, go ahead. You about to say something to make me mad. I know it.
No.
And we gave a disclaimer before it. Go ahead.
I promise we're not arguing.
Okay, go ahead.
I promise. And I'm just saying, you think we don't have conversations like that all the time. I mean, you don't talk about anything.
You're right, because I don't have anything to talk about.
But
I'm not gonna call you and have a podcast conversation with you.
It doesn't have to be a podcast conversation. This is natural. Like I said, this is what we would do, right? It's not.
No, baby, no.
I'm just saying.
I can't call you baby on the podcast. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. Yeah, this is a professional church podcast here. I'm Mr. Brandon.
Sorry, Mr. Brandon.
No. I'm just saying, like, you say that we don't have conversation. and you say that our phone calls are just hi and bye. Hey, how you doing? Everything's all right over there. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, talk to you later.
Mm.
But it could be more. You could think of things to talk about.
Okay, so here's.
I'm not trying to put I'm not
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
put
I'm
it
not
all
saying
on
on me.
you.
I know that. I get that. I've noticed this. I actually was thinking about this the other day. I was just in the house, just cleaning up or whatever, and I'm like, oh, it was when the kids were away at my mom's house. My mom took the kids for an entire 3 days for the Christmas break. Love the woman. She's amazing. God sent. Honestly, I've just been the quiet I've ever heard in my house in a very long time. But saying that, I was literally in the house and you were at work, and I'm like, did I hear my voice today? I don't think I've heard myself talk today. I've always been very talkative since you've met me. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that it's just now when I don't have to talk, I don't, because I'm always yelling at the kids or talking to the kids about something or
Always yell at the
directing
kids,
them. Brandon, don't see.
huh? I asked a question.
I'm always raising my voice at the kids.
I ain't got no problem saying it. I yell at the kids all day long.
Yes, you do, but I don't. When I don't
don't.
have to hear my voice and I don't have
nice.
to talk, I like silence.
Okay.
Which is very, very opposite of who I was when you met me.
But what's that got to do about having a daily conversation?
I don't be having nothing to talk about.
You call your friends and have plenty to talk about.
We be gossiping.
Okay.
Okay? We be gossiping.
The point of this podcast is to spread non-gossip.
But I
Even though we gossip on here too.
I don't gossip to you guys because that's not the dynamic of what this podcast is.
I'm just saying,
but
you could gossip with me just as much as you do with them or
Brandon,
talk to them.
When I get the tea from them, I call you and give you the tea. So stop playing.
No, not all the time. Sometimes I gotta call you for it.
That is true. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not majority. I'm gonna say 85% of the time. I tell you everything.
Okay. I'm just saying. It doesn't. If you're not having consistent conversations, it doesn't have to be like that. It can't. You don't have to just accept it for what it is.
Why? I feel like the conversations we have is okay. Hey, are you okay? Just checking on you. You safe on the road? Yeah, I just got to Michigan. Okay.
Michigan.
You in Michigan? Okay. All right. Let me know when
Okay.
I'll have dinner ready for you when you get home.
Don't go that
All
far.
right. How's the kids? They good. All right. I'll see you
What?
back.
No.
I'll
It's
see
not
you when
even
I
that
get
much.
back from Ohio.
Hold up. Hold the phone.
Okay.
It's not even that much.
Because you don't be saying much either.
Okay.
You quiet now. Real quiet. Real quiet. It was just all on me, right?
No, I just said I'm not trying to put it all on you. Like you're the one that has to come up with all the topics yourself.
Well, for the most time, I call you, right? I call you.
Oh, the lies are starting? The lies are starting. I didn't know this was the lie
All right,
podcast.
Let's move on.
No, we don't have to move on. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Ain't that the thing? I forgot that's supposed to be our motto, Tanya.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, Tanya.
Tanya not here.
Let's talk. I'm about to call her up.
No. We're good.
So go ahead. You were saying you call me.
I don't call you. Okay, the times that I call you, the conversations are, hey, just checking on you. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. Where you at? You tell me where you at. What time you getting home? You just asked me this yesterday. Well, it might be different than it was yesterday. And then we go into a little, okay, fine. Bye. Talk to you, love you. That's it. I'm okay with that. I know you good. When you're not good, you
Yeah,
call
but I
me.
like to have conversation when I'm out on the road driving for 11 hours a day.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but you can't say I haven't tried. I haven't tried to have conversation. You remember I'll call you with questions? See, I'm talking with my hands. See?
That's fun.
See?
You gotta burn your
I
hand
know,
off.
right? Don't say that I haven't tried to have conversation with you, though. Them times that I've called you and asked you questions and tried to, play games over the phone and stuff like that. You remember that?
The lies continue.
The lies.
The flubber.
Brandon.
What games? What do you mean?
Like the question games that we've been playing. I'm going to bed.
When's the last time that happened?
A month ago. I mean, I can't find no more questions online.
Okay.
I actually took the time to look up questions to ask you while you were driving to keep you company. And I don't feel like you're appreciating that.
How is that?
Because you're sitting here acting like I didn't do it.
I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
You don't remember me asking you all those questions?
Mm-mm.
We were going back and forth like, okay, what was one thing that you liked about me when we first got together? And then you have to answer it. And then I answered the same thing. And then we went back and forth and had a conversation
I
about
remember
that.
that. I remember
Yes.
that. I remember
Okay.
that.
I literally went online and looked up a bunch of questions to ask you to keep you company on the road because I know that sometimes I'm just.
But
on the phone
okay,
with
you
silent.
don't. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying that it is a bad thing, but you don't see that as a bad thing that we can't even naturally come up with something to talk about. You have to go online to find things to talk about.
I just think you've been together for so long. It's just like when we're in person, we talk. I just am not a good phone talker anymore.
Add a caption. The lies is gonna blink. Deep,
Okay.
Deep, deep.
Who have? I'm more of a listener. I listen.
That's okay. That's fine.
I'm not a huge talker now.
Mhm.
The breed that you've met before children was the one initiating all the conversation.
So you don't like to run your mouth anymore. Woo! I just got in trouble. All right. I think we've done enough, right? That's
Yes,
it. I
we've
think we
done-
did it, right?
yeah.
Oh, that's plenty. Yes, guys, thank you for I promise we love each other. We do.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah, so no, seriously though, we're excited to get this back on the ball. We're excited to get this rolling again. I don't think it's that much to ask for an hour
No.
every week. We got to figure out how often we're going to do these.
I didn't give an answer.
Maybe not a week. We'll see. We'll see. Listen,
I say we should record once a week and then kind of like,
put them out every week.
Spread them out.
No, put them out every week. Record it, put it out.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Listen, we thank you for those that listened to us from before our big hiatus. Thank you. If you're gonna start listening to us or watching us on YouTube, watching the videos, which please do check out the video on YouTube. Please share it and let us know what you think. Obviously, look, it's a relaxed look. I'm in a hoodie and jeans and socks. We're sitting in our apartment. You know what I mean? It's like we're sitting here candle side. We get it. It's relaxed. It's supposed to be. You know, it's not supposed to be some big formal thing. Just putting that out there. You know what I mean? That's the point of this year. So I just wanted to say that in the first episode coming back so that it is out in the open and it's plain. There's no guessing. It's like why whatever. Why do they look like they're chilling? It's because, we are. This is like a chill session. Basically, it's what this podcast has always been. You just haven't seen it. Now you do. This is basically what we look like recording before for the most part without you seeing it. So
without my huge fluffy blanket while I'm sitting here rolled up trying to talk to you guys.
True.
So can't do that.
So yeah, like I said, thank you again. Please share, please comment, please like it. Let us know what you think. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.